Hey folks, welcome back to the Beer Files. I'm Matt,
I'm Mike.
and today we are lucky to be drinking the 2014 release of Mexican Cake from Westbrook Brewing out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. For those who are into stouts and into those, those spicy, uh, pepper laden stouts, this is one of the classics, one of the standards, if you will. And they've been releasing it for a while, and this is actually the first year I've been able to get my hands on it.
Nice.
And I don't know, have you had it in the past?
I have not had it, but I look forward to trying this one.
Yeah. I know they do some very nice variants with it, some barrel aged variants and whatnot, but this is the standard, by the books Mexican Cake. They started brewing it in December of 2011, it looks like, as their first anniversary beer. Yes, I'm reading this off the side of the bottle, but it's still interesting. Um, it was a serious imperial stout aged on cocoa nibs, vanilla beans, cinnamon sticks, and with fresh habanero peppers. It was so delicious that they decided to keep doing it, and thus Mexican Cake was born. So uh, I'm pumped. It's 10.5%, so it is a big stout. The habanero peppers, really excited to see those because I feel like that's a pepper that can be very dangerous.
Yeah, and if you use the right amount, this could probably come out as sweet and heat.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit too much, then it's probably going to be too hot and the lingering, and that may not be good. But obviously, we know it's.
Yeah, I mean the ratings and what everybody says about it, obviously.
It'll be interesting to see how that combo goes.
Yeah, because I feel like if you use an ancho, if you use a chipotle, something like that, that is much more sweeter and smokier and stuff like that, it's much safer.
Yeah.
You're not going to make it too hot or anything like that, or else it would take a whole lot of it. With a habanero or anything along those lines, there's going to be a fine line you're towing there before it becomes just hot and overwhelming to the rest of the flavors that are in there.
Exactly.
And this is, just even in the name, Mexican Cake, it is a dessert beer. It's supposed to be sweet and flavorful and whatnot. So you want to be able to sip and enjoy it. Yeah. Right on. So this guy was bottled 5/22 of this year, 2014. Again, this is Westbrook Brewing's Mexican Cake, and let's pop it open and see what it's all about.
Let's go for it.
All right, so what do you think?
Well, right off the bat, visually, this looks amazing. Real opaque body, the nice tan head.
It's creamy head too.
Yeah, and it just came out like motor oil and looked real nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you look at that. That is an inviting aroma.
Yeah.
The chocolate, a little bit of the cinnamon. That adds that almost holiday spice kick to it.
You get the hints of vanilla right after that. And just a little bit of alcohol too.
Yeah.
But
10.5%. It's not necessarily a surprise.
But, I don't smell any of that habanero, but I think that's all going to be flavor.
I do. I don't smell. I agree. I think it's going to be mainly flavor too. What I do think it does to a degree is it almost accentuates some of the spiciness. I think it helps like that cinnamon pop out a little bit more. So what we aren't getting as specifically habanero could just be playing off of other flavors in there right now. But I would hope, I mean, if this goes well, my hope is you're going to get bombarded with the vanilla, the cinnamon, the chocolate, all that kind of stuff. And then on the finish, you're just going to get a nice light tingle of a burn. That to me would be the ideal way this would play out. You get all the sweet dessertness and then a little burn to finish it with the habanero.
That'd be a perfect split.
Yeah, I'd be very happy with that. But I mean, it's one of those beers that you almost feel bad drinking because I just like looking at it. The head's just popping. It's got that kind of like a magma type of a thing going on with it.
You can see the bubble, so it's really nice and carbonated, which is going to help with those flavors and aroma of the spices that they put in.
Absolutely. Well, we could keep talking about the aroma, or we could just drink the beer.
I'm done talking. Cheers.
Prost.
First, I think this is poured and we're drinking at the right temperature.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too cold. He put it in the right time. Came out. It's a little bit colder than room temperature, I think.
Yeah.
So you really get the enhance of all the flavors. And you were right about the habaneros. I think it really enhanced the cinnamon. I get that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the chocolate and the heat. I think it came on a little bit for me, a little bit more early on,
Mm-hmm.
but it stayed throughout, and it helped with all the other flavors.
Yeah, I mean, as like it coats the back of my throat, I think that's where I'm getting a little. I agree that the habanero definitely jumped out right off the bat, and then everything else came on. But now, as it sits on my throat a little bit, I think it's probably the one flavor in here that can really linger. Other than some of the really dark malts,
Right.
stuff like that, I feel like the habanero is strong enough where it lingers a little bit on the throat, which is great because a beer like this coats the throat. You know, it doesn't. You don't swallow it and then it's gone.
No, very velvety,
Yeah.
silky. It's a true imperial stout
Mm-hmm.
with the enhance of all those other really cool flavors that may not always go together. It goes well in this one. And what I'm really excited about is I got a little hint of that alcohol. I didn't taste any of it.
Yeah, none.
And which is awesome because it's something I couldn't drink all day, but I can drink a big portion of it, which I'm going to.
Oh yeah, I mean you could just that type of beer you pour, you sit down and you enjoy it for a long time. You let the different flavors kind of pop out as it warms, you know, and see the different iterations and variations of the beer as that goes on. My favorite thing I think is the combination of the vanilla and the cinnamon. Like mid palate, you just get this great hint of vanilla, but that cinnamon really pops out again, like we said, with the help of the habanero, and it's just so inviting. I really, really like that.
It's like a layered cake. No, I agree. It's the amounts that they put in. It worked really well together. Not one is muddled over the other. You really get the flavors, and the others kind of enhance it. Like the habanero enhanced all the flavors, but then also they work well by themselves or in pairs. Like you said, the cinnamon and vanilla worked really well. I think the chocolate and the habanero worked well together. Especially that roasted malt in there.
Roasted malt's great. Although, I mean, for me, I don't know about you, but I think the cinnamon is the star for me in this beer. I mean, everything holds its own. Everything has its place, but cinnamon's such a funky spice where it can really be overwhelming. You know, or it can just make you sit there and think of the holidays, you know, and stuff. The way they use the cinnamon here is just unbelievably well done.
Yes, I have to agree because you got that on the nose right away, the flavor, and then the combination of all the other ones together. You're right, that lingered all the way through. It was really nice.
And you know, lastly, the thing that we were most concerned about going into the drinking this was the fact that unlike a lot of peppers that we see in beers, habanero can be, you know, a dangerous guy to be using, and they used it phenomenally. It's one of those things where you might not, if you didn't know and this was a blind taste test, you might not pick it out.
No.
You might not pick it out, but because you know it's in there, you can see how it's being used in the beer, and it's not used to make your mouth burn.
Right. No, it's a well crafted beer. They were thinking about the consumption of this and not how crazy can they go.
Right, not shock value.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think, Mike?
I'm going to give this a 5.
Yeah?
I really like this beer. I love the lacing. The color of the head is great. The body, just the overall flavors really go well together, but it's not overboard.
No.
I'm not like every time I'm tasting too much of one thing. It goes away because you want to have some more.
You know what makes me upset about this beer? I don't live in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. We've done a bunch of Westbrook brews, you know, and in the latest blog entry, if you check it out, 5 beers that you have to drink, I even talked about their just basic American pale ale done with rye, One Claw. Their Goza is one of the best summer beers out there. We had the Goza with the yuzu. Remember that guy? Which was unbelievable.
Yes.
This brewery is just really, really solid all the way around, at least with everything that I've had the opportunity to try. That's really the only flaw I can see in this beer is that it's not closer to me. So I guess, you know, with that I bounce between, because I don't know if I've ever sat there and said a 5 on a beer, but I gotta join you on this. This is about as good as it gets for the style, for the ingredients, and just the the way you take such polar opposites and bring them together and make something so palatable. It's awesome.
It's good to try this one first, and then it'd be interesting to try their variants and other barrels, and then see what that enhances or takes away.
Yeah.
But
If you can get your hands on it.
right, I always go with the original because the original is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I've been trying to drink a lot of these Mexican style stouts lately. The El Lechador from Night Shift was phenomenal. But I can see why many people consider this particular beer to be the standard for the style. You know, not just talking the big stouts, but that Mexican style stout, usage of the peppers, all that kind of stuff. There's a reason why this is the go-to. And for those who got it to me, I appreciate you getting some bottles up my way, and I think we really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Mexican Cake, the 2014 edition from Westbrook Brewing out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. 10.5% Imperial Stout with cocoa nibs, vanilla beans, cinnamon sticks, and habanero peppers. Amazing beverage. Check it out if you get the opportunity. We're the Beer Files. He's Mike. I'm Matt, and we'll talk to you again soon. Cheers.